Hello, fellow debt slayers. It's Stephen with Debt Free Results. It's Monday, August 25th, around 1 o'clock. I hope everyone's having a great day. Today we're going to talk about credit card points, but also how to build your own vision board. And it's a tool that's very helpful when you're on your debt-free journey because you know exactly where you are on your vision board, and we'll talk about that in a moment. I'm a Dave Ramsey certified debt coach. I help people like you be able to put together customized plans and focus on how to get out of debt. I've worked with many people around the country. Actually, I have a couple of Canadian clients, and so therefore I can say international. But let's talk about a vision board and the value, but also about points on credit cards. So I was speaking with one of my clients the other day, and they were talking about how they want to do a vision board. And I said, all right, well, that's where we're going to be going on the journey, but they wanted to know how to make one, so I explained it to them. Really, a vision board is something you can do on your own. It's something that I can help you with as well. You can put it on a poster board, you can put it on a spreadsheet, you can put it on a grease board, you can put it on the back of a pizza box. Honestly, it doesn't matter where it is, but it shows you a snapshot of your debt and when you'll be out of debt. And you can put it on your wall, you can put it on your desk, you can put it on your refrigerator, you can put it on the back of your door, you can put it on your bathroom window mirror so that you can see it every day. It's a visual to help remind you that you're on top of your debt-free journey, that you're on top of your debt. You know exactly where you are, when you're going to become debt-free, what your monthly payout is, and what every bill is and was. So it's a good tool to help you with. So, you could have pictures. You could use colorful markers. It doesn't matter. But it's a visual. If I save a little bit, it goes into the piggy bank. Over here, you could put it into a mason jar for savings, like a penny jar or a coin jar. Over here, you could have, car, education, house. This person has travel, but until you're 100% debt free, you're not going to be doing too much traveling, and you're not going to put it on any kind of a credit card or anything. You would be paying cash for it. And then lastly is you're debt free. So you do all these things, you have your chart, you have it all broken out, and at the end of the day, you are 100% debt free. So building your personal debt free journey vision board, I can help you out with that. It's a great tool to help you on your journey. And remember last week when I was talking about your debt free journey is an 80% mental, 20% physical journey. You have to get your mind around the debt. You have to get around the fact that you are a slave to the lender. You're here, the lender is here. I don't care if it's a car company, a university, the government, Visa, American Express, whoever. You are a slave to the lender. So, in the Bible, it says that we should not be a slave to the lender. If you lend to your neighbor, then that relationship goes from this to this, where the person who was loaning the money is the lender, and the person borrowing the money is the slave, and this person will always be enslaved to that person until they're paid off in your equilibrium. So I hope that gives you a good idea. So here's an example of a vision board. This person had all their accounts on the left-hand side from the smallest to the largest, and then their minimum monthly payment. They had it broken down as to what they pay every month on in this case, their debt snowball. They have right now when this was made, 77,377. Their starting debt they wrote down was 101,000. Their current debt of December 1st of 2018 was the 77,377. So they had an estimated payoff time of 35 months. So by 2021, this person became 100% debt free. But their goal was to pay it off in 20 months. So think about that. If they stayed on this course, which is fine, you're making the minimum payments, you're not using credit cards, you're not doing any of this other stuff, they'll be paid off 100% in 35 months. But if they put more money towards their balance, towards their principal, their goal was to pay this all off in 20 months. Aggressive, can it be done? Sure can. No question at all. Would it be tough? Yep, no question at all. But it can be done. So, and at the end, of course, they have a little smiley face, put a little humor on that topic. Another vision board, this person took it and broke it into blocks. So they have their student loan, which is their highest one, their credit card, their second credit card, and then their car loan. So every block equals $100. So however they made this, they're attacking their student loans pretty aggressively, and so on. So you can see when they're done with this, they'll be done with their debt. So when all four of these stacks are paid off and filled in, then they will be debt free. Again, it's a visual that you can have on the door, on your wall. You can have it on your desk so you see it. It's not going away. It's here. But they're making so much progress. This is it. This is what it means. You know, you've started here and you're seeing the fruits of your labor. That's what this is. You know, this might have been a new car loan. I don't know, but you can see that they're making progress on their journey. It's a great tool to use. This person, they had it written down for debt balance, their monthly payment, and then their interest rate, whichever on the interest rates. But it shows that their monthly payments, again, they're not doing the debt snowball because they're not doing minimum payments on everything and then attacking the smallest bill, but they're doing this their way. And they pay $1,739 a month in their bills. Their total debt is $92,319. So this works for them. But this is something that you could put on the wall. You could put it on your mirror in your bathroom. You could put it on the back of the door in your bedroom so that you can see it. That's what I owe. That's mine. And I will take care of that. And based on these numbers and these numbers down below, they have it under control. So let's see. Another one is, so they started down at the bottom. And this person's debt free, but clearly they had $111,108 total debt. Down below here, they had their emergency fund. So they started their emergency fund, and then they had increments of $5,000. So as they paid off $5,000, you know, their thermometer would go up and up and up. And looking at this, I can see where they made their thermometer go higher because there was different markings across the paper. But at the end, they paid off $111,108. They don't have a date on this, so I can't really say how long it took them. But you can see over here that they're debt-free. You know, again, this is just one of those that it's a visual that helps you as you're looking at it, that you're on your way to becoming debt-free. I don't care how you make it. I have 5 or 6 different charts that I use with clients. So if this works for you, great. If the other one works for you, fantastic. I don't want to have to recreate the wheel, but if it's something that you are passionate about, I want to do it one way, fine. I have no problem with that. But as long as you have it on your wall, behind your door, in your bathroom, on your refrigerator, on the back of a pizza box, don't care. I just think it's a good tool to help mentally remind you that we're on our way, we're on our journey, and we're on our way to finishing off the debt. This one is just a visual from my storyboard, again showing little bits of money saved in a money jar. This one is again small amounts of money growing in a piggy bank. Another one is, again, I wouldn't do this one because they have a jar for travel. While you're on your debt-free journey, you shouldn't be traveling. You shouldn't be on any vacations because we are getting out of debt. We're not allocating money towards a vacation. This money I would take and I would put it towards the car debt, the education, and their house debt. Pay these things off first, save our money, and then go on a vacation. But when we're in our debt-free journey, there is no time to take a vacation because when you're on a vacation, you spend money. And right now, we're not in that money spending mode. And I think you understand what I'm talking about. Yes, it's great to be able to go on a vacation. If it was that you came to me and said, well, we want to go on a vacation, I would say go camping, go to a state park, go to a federal park, go to the beach, go to a picnic. If you're in the city, go to a museum. They're all free, or most of them are free. There are so many things that are for free in and near where you live. Just go online and type in free activities and see what's there. You could go to a car show. You could go to a flea market. You could go to a hike on a trail, whatever. I mean, there's so many activities out there that are free. And when we're on a debt-free journey, again, we're trying to become debt-free. So this is one of those things where you would go back into debt. I would rather take that money and put it towards everything else and become debt-free faster. Let me see. And then, at the end of the rainbow is becoming debt-free. You don't have any more of those bills. And the feeling that you get that next day after you're done being debt-free, becoming debt-free, knowing that you have your emergency filled in the bank in a high-yield savings account. You have 3 to 6 months of house expenses in another high-yield savings account. You have 15% in a 401k, or you're maxing out your 401k. If you have kids, then you're already saving for their education. And, then you pay off your house. And when that's all done, you're 100% debt-free. If you don't have kids or if you don't have tuition issues, then you jump over those parts of the baby step. But the feeling of being 100% debt-free and owing zero, and that you have money in the bank to cover any expenses, it's a great feeling. It really is a great feeling. So type 1 down below if you want to have that feeling of being debt-free. 100% debt-free. And that could be your why. I want that feeling. You may have your reason for being debt-free, and your spouse may also have a different why. You should have 2 different whys because you both have 2 different goals. One goal, but 2 individual goals. So, so another thing that I was speaking with someone this weekend. We were talking about credit cards, and they were talking about the credit card that they have. One of the reasons that they got one of their credit cards was for the points. And I said, well, have you used any of your points on your credit card? And they said no, because they have so much debt. So I said, call the credit card company and see if you can take those points and put it towards the balance on your credit card. And he said, can we do that? And I said, well, some may and some may not. I said, but you don't know unless you ask. I said, if they don't put it towards the balance, I do know that these credit card companies will send you a check if you want. I mean, yeah, I know you can put it towards credit cards for, Land's End or Visa or restaurants, but they do issue checks to you for the amount of points that you have. So let's just say that this person, and they don't know, so I'm just playing with a number, that they have $1,000 of points in their credit card. So I would suggest to them that they have the credit card company issue them a check for the $1,000. Once that check came in for $1,000, I would deposit it into the bank. I would right off the bat, right away, write a check, put it in the mail that day to the credit card company, and put it towards principal. And you can allocate money towards principal only if, and that way it's not going towards interest. So that way you can put down extra money that you really didn't have. You had, but you didn't use, and put it towards credit cards. And once again, the battle is, I have $1,000 from the bank or from the credit card. I have got to write a check that moment so that it's in the hand and out of the hand so that you can't go and spend it. Because when you have that $1,000, you'll be tempted to go and spend it on something. Don't do that. Write a check, have the check ready to go. You get the check in the hand, deposit it, send out that letter to the credit card company, and you'll see how fast your why happens. And then you can close the credit card, and all that type of stuff. But it's another way to find money to pay down bills, and everyone should check with their credit card companies, see if they have points on their program that they have received over the years. And if you do have that balance, get a check sent to you so that you can put it towards the credit card. I hope you found this helpful. Please like us down below and subscribe to our channel. And if you have a moment, forward this video to someone that you know that might be in need of our services. I'll be more than happy to help anyone I can. God bless. Again, Stephen with Debt Free Results. Visit our website at www.debtfreeresults.com. Go out and enjoy this beautiful weather wherever you are. It's a Monday, so enjoy it even though it is a Monday. But again, God bless. Have a great day. Stay on that debt-free journey, and if you have any questions, send me an email. I'll help you out any way that I can. Thank you, and have a great day.